led by Lord Jesus Christ to help bring others to him, so that we may be ready for his return for us faithful, who believe on him for our salvation.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. This is Jen on the Rocks. I would say Fearless Christian Radio. Actually, I'm going to change Jen on the Rocks. I know, it's so witty. I made that up myself over 2 years ago. I'm sure I'm not the first, won't be the last, but I'm the only one I know of in radio right now. So, this is Lil Fish Broadcasting or Broadcast. It depends on what I changed it to. I don't know. It comes up one as broadcasting, the other as broadcast. Great. More confusion, right? Nonetheless, Lil Fish. Lil Fish. You got to say it right. Lil Fish. I'm just a little fish in this big pond, and I like to keep it that way, you know. So anyway, I just want to keep it just about God's Word. Just keep it simple. Keep it real. Keep it simple. So anyway, right. I'm not even prepared. Still not scripted. But tonight's topic is sensitive content. This is sensitive content, by the way. Not that there's expletives, but there might be some words that, if there are young ears around, if you're not ready to explain those words or the content or the topic with those little ears, please excuse them or excuse yourself or listen to this later if you must. Again, sensitive content on sexual abstinence, self-worth, and so forth. Had a good talk with Mike Myers and other friends today. He's been doing a show lately kind of on the same, we're not trying to step on each other's toes here. He just said that would be great, Jen, if you did a show on what I was discussing, and with friends. It's about just really why I stay single, why I am, I live the, the sober lifestyle, and sober as in not just, refraining from alcohol, because I do, we don't even need to go there. What I'm trying to say is, I'm just going to say that, coming to love myself more and more, because I thoroughly believe that God wants us to love ourselves, to love others as we love ourselves, correct? So if I'm to treat someone else well, then wouldn't I treat myself well too? And so there's a lot to say on this tonight. It's a good thing I don't know how long this is going to last. I have no music uploaded, so just going to talk. And anyway, so we're all here. And I completely don't know what I want to say. I really don't. I do, but I don't. So bear with me. All right, so you know what? Going back to my name, Jen on the Rocks, it just sounds like, a beverage, and you know what kind, and people have always said they love it, and I know it's witty, but I feel like this is a program for anyone. I try not to, and it's not, I don't want to sound alcoholic. Beverage, I don't, it really sounds like, Jen on the Rocks. And so I know it's cute and everything because my name is Jennifer. And so still it's Christian, and I would like it to have that respect. And so, and not just Christian, but I mean believing on Christ and being a believer and follower. And we're to refrain from the appearance of evil, And if I go around saying, a tipsy beverage, kind of sounding name, it's just not right. I could explain it to be, it really means this or that. It's not what comes to the mind of the beholding ears, if you know what I mean. So, it's cute. And you know what? I'm trying to learn how to be more modest. And we're about to get to that, actually. That has a lot to do with self-worth, sexual abstinence, and, of course, the sensitive content that this is all about. So, right. I was born, my name is Bethany, actually, and I don't know if I needed to say that, but I was born Bethany, and which means, ironically, house of God. And if you know about where I come from, you'd say, wow, really? Yes, really. God has a plan. God's got this. And, and I really love people. But I still must keep going forward in God's will, in God's plan. Anyway, but yes, I was born Bethany, California, 1974, I was told. And now I'm here, North Carolina. What's that called? Zigzagged all over the northwestern hemisphere. And I am here, thankfully, with family nearby. And love my grandpa. And just saying that now I am retired at a very young age. And just saying that I've made a lot of mistakes that helped me become retired, helped me become disabled. It's not always, everything that I did to cause disability. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in my adult years, I made some choices that, I wish I had been taught differently, but at the same time, I'm an adult now, so this is why I make powerfully good choices. People call me all sorts of names, Jesus, I'll just say it, Jesus freak and things like that, because, I won't divulge what in certain things that they want me to, participate in, that they will. And I'm not saying I'm perfect either. No, this is why I came here tonight, is to let you know how to. I don't know. I'm still learning how to do things the right way, to still make good choices, and then I start becoming, I don't know how to put it. I'll just, say that I had made a lot of poor choices in my adult years, trusting people when my gut told me not to, and just so forth, and just pretty much feeling and being used up by others, evil plans, I guess, if you will. So, yeah, this is why I am abstinent to this day, because I just have too much on my plate that I am recovering from. It's not just drugs and alcohol. It's not nothing like that. It's like just poor choices, recovering from poor choices. And life got so much better when I started to make good choices. I quit settling for the wrong kind of guy. And this is just about abstinence, sexually, and self-worth. And you see, I never thought I could get better. And what I mean by that is in two senses. I never thought that I could get better, as in improve. And I never thought that I could receive a better kind of man. And I'm not saying that I never will. I am just single until, or if, God ever has a plan for me to be with a particular person He has in mind, whom will be right for me. This is not so much my story. This is just telling my story so that someone out there might know what I mean, and perhaps they're going through that. Maybe they need some encouragement to not do what I have done. And so, yeah. So today, let's see. Good grief. The conversations with friends went so well, but it's just different when you go on the air and you see a bright on air button, and you're like, okay, without that interaction with another person, it's really hard to have that conversation. It's like, I hope I touch on things that need to be explored here. But, going back, being taught, differently or wrong, I should say, maybe not differently, but just wrong. I grew up not knowing better. I knew that there was something better, but since those better things weren't presented to me, I just didn't know better just yet. So I'm still learning, and I kept, I guess, in my messed up state, attracting and settling for messed up people, and then continued in the frustration and the heartache and the terror and sadness of being in a messed up situation. When I got tired of that, after years, in my adult years, it took a minute or two. Just saying that I finally got, when I ended up in the hospital for the last time, years ago, about, 4 years ago, I was actually hospitalized 5 times in probably one summer. I put myself there 5 times that I know of. There could have been more. It was to repair the damage that had been done at the hands of the last relationship, the man I trusted. And so, and I'm not saying that I'm going to just totally focus here on my decisions. Am I at fault for what he chose to do? No. Am I at fault that he was abusive? No. He is his own person. And never believe, I just don't believe that it's my fault. And it's not our fault, I'm just saying that when I went to that hospital for the last time, and I chose which hospital I was going to go to, it was the best hospital that I know of here in North Carolina. Just saying that, we were cutting out maple leaves, as a symbol of change, fall, change is coming. And and we were to write down important things to us. I wrote, first of all, and I don't have it, I have it with me, but it's not right here for me to look at. I didn't know I was going to talk about it, but I still have that maple leaf, that cut out maple leaf. First and foremost, to keep my faith in Jesus Christ the Lord. Secondly, to recognize red flags and in others who want to hurt people, and me. And then third, to recognize what a red flag is in the first place. Somebody, the saying, if it walks like a duck, talks like or quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It looks like a duck, it's a duck. And I used to be the type to say, why does this happen to me every single time? Why does everybody do this to me? Well, because I kept, trusting the same kind of people who would do the same kind of thing to me. And I finally realized that until I be a match for the kind of person I'd want, whom I don't even know who that is yet, but I'm just saying it's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. Someone who is healthy, really truly healthy, and I don't mean just physically, mentally, emotionally, whom just is, brilliant with life and, has that light shining. They don't normally go trying to find a mate, a marriage partner whom is terribly sick and making poor choices. Someone who's making great choices usually does not, they're usually not attracted to the one making poor choices. And whose mind, body, and soul and everything deteriorating quickly because of poor choices or poor choices. You know what I'm saying? Not normally. So, I, of course, in that state of mind, being terribly confused, and just making poor choices in life, albeit I certainly had a sincere heart. I was just sincerely wrong in what I was doing, and I was reckoned with. I was reckoned with by God where I was, and just praise God for taking the time to speak with me and to correct me. So I don't want to sit and stew in mistakes as much as I want to discuss the joy of abstinence, sexual abstinence, and the joy of self-worth. First of all, it's kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg. Do you have self-worth enough to become abstinent? Or does self-worth come because of abstinence? Well, it could be a bit of both or one or the other. I don't know about everybody. I can't speak for everyone. I do know that for me, that I had to be abstinent to begin to learn my worth, my self-worth, and I knew it was possible. The pastor whom counseled me for years, a few years of my life, especially when I was a teenager before coming to know the Lord, or before I did, it was just amazing. Like I was telling a friend of mine today, that being at their home as much as I was for 2 years straight, it was like I was Jane Goodall watching the apes. Totally different territory, new language, a totally different. I'm not going to say a new language, but it is just a different language than I was used to speaking, whether verbally or anything. When I was a teenager, I was expected to be sexually open-minded, and just open, to whatever wanted to come at me. And, if I wanted attention, I was going to have to give myself up for that. And it really hurt my mind, my emotions. It scarred me up, possibly even, I suppose, I don't know, in the physical sense as well. It was pain all around, inside and out, just in my heart, and a lot of tears. Let's face it, if somebody out there knows what I mean by, laying down with someone, having relations outside of marriage, and I mean with your own marriage partner, outside of that, there's a dullness, and that it's weird. It's like we're somehow trying to make it okay. And there's all this pain in our hearts, and I'm just saying also that if anybody has ever laid down with someone, and then for that person to just diss them, leave them immediately, you wake up and they're gone, and totally, like you were nothing, like you never meant a thing. It can hurt really bad, and so, and yet it's weird. It's like at the same time, people who do that, and there are many of them, it's becoming very prevalent now. Probably, I don't know, more than ever, or we just talk about it more. I don't know all these, ratios and averages and all that. I do know that, people do come at me expecting certain things from me, and I say no, and then they get really mean about it when I say no. And I'm like, well, I'm really glad I said no then. I would hate for, I mean, can you imagine someone who hates you that much to hurt you for saying no? Actually, touch you? Ew, I mean, that would be like, no thanks. I don't want someone who hates me to, fake an act of love and subject myself to that. So, and that's just where I got. I do have a ways to go. There is baggage, if you will, in this area. And I admit that. I know that. And then there are people who really put you down for having baggage. Who doesn't have some kind of baggage? Especially, getting to my age, doing what I've done, you're going to have some baggage. Thankfully, I'm setting them down. And I guess talking about this helps. And hopefully it helps somebody out there. So, I totally put a stop to it. I have messed up once in a while in the past. And then I did have a talk with God about that. I thought, even if I messed up once every few years, that's just too many times. It's not okay. And it's not okay to put myself in those situations. For example, I do not hang with guys. I do not hang with males. That is one way to not put myself in that situation. My flesh is weak too, and so that is just simply put, like when, for example, a guy has said, hey, can we just chill? First of all, ladies don't chill. I never understood the oxymoron. I'm looking for a lady who wants to chill. Ladies don't chill. Okay? Ladies don't chill. That's an oxymoron. So, just saying that, the times, throughout the last, few years that I've been approached by the male, or the opposite gender whom have said, hey, you want to hang out, or or may I hang out at your place? I say my home's not open to the public. It's not. Think of it that way. Would you let people come in, just in and out, to just do whatever they wanted, take whatever they wanted and stuff like that? Imagine them doing that to your body. Okay? And it's real hard to put a stop to it once it starts too. That's when they're stomping of feet, yelling, and who knows. For example, it can happen. Maybe not always. Some people are dignified about it. Just saying. There's a multitude of problems when it comes to being open-minded these days, which I'm about to get to that definition myself here in a second. No, I'm going to talk about it now. Open-mindedness, when I hear so many people say, hey, I'm open-minded, I know what that means. I know what they think what it means. It does not mean you're open-minded. It's actually closed-mindedness. And I'll say why it's closed-mindedness. Because it's only about one thing, and that's sex. How open is that? Are you open to the topic of Jesus Christ? Are you open to the topic of just going out to get like a milkshake together and it be on innocent grounds? Are you willing to sit across the table from your date, the one whom you're even intending, hoping to possibly marry someday? To court them, for the sake of, with purpose, dating with purpose. If the answer is no to all that, if you're not, do you hear what I'm saying? If you're not open to things other than promiscuity, sexual can't say the word. Sexual promiscuity, If you're not open to anything outside of that, that would be closed-mindedness. If you're stepping outside the box, stretching your arms, breathing fresh air, and into the light, then you can start calling yourself open. So, but also, I just want to say, I never understood that. I was like, what? How can you say you're open-minded if you're only closed to, like, I don't get that. And then they talk like being closed-minded as in, so anyway, somebody comes up to me and says, are you open-minded? I say, no. Go away. So anyway, self-worth, sexual abstinence, I started loving myself. I did. And it feels good. Sure, I still have, certain, fears that God is dealing with, or maybe I haven't really practiced it enough to step out of my fear. Sometimes I wonder if I use fear as a like a puffer jacket to keep me from getting hurt again. That could very well be so. Just saying. And God's got this, just saying that I really started loving myself. As in, all of a sudden, I start to understand where God is coming from when He instructs us in a way. And that being modest is more than just wearing particular cover-up clothes. You could, you know what I'm saying? Do you hear me? And that there's just something about it, and we can certainly study more in the future on this. It is actually my desire. It's a desire of mine to learn more on this topic, to be that gentle, quiet spirit whom God cherishes. That to be that lady, the virtuous woman. It's not exactly. I don't know. Of course, I'd like to be with someone someday. But can you hear kind of some of the pain? And this is what I'm wanting you to hear, is that this is what it can do to a person. Is that but I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I don't anymore. Someone message me. Chat with me for a second. But I just want to say that I don't know. You know what? We'll get back to this another time. I want to express that. I think I already talked about that. That this is a little fish broadcast. And, yeah, I already did. I know I did. Okay. We're going to take a little break. Just a 1-minute break.
Now, Mr. Smith, why don't you lie down on this couch and I'll take a few notes.
Oh, okay.
Now, what seems to be the problem?
I think I'm paranoid.
Paranoid, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I feel that deep down I know right from wrong. I know how I'm supposed to behave and that I don't do what I know I'm supposed to do, and I keep making excuses for why I'm not doing the right thing, and I'm afraid that someday I'm going to stand before God and have to account for what I've done, and I won't have any excuses. What was that?
Nothing, Mr. Smith. I just broke my pencil.
So, do you think I'm paranoid?
Not at all. Paranoia is when your fears are based on facts that are not true.
So I'm not paranoid?
No, you're not.
Oh, so everything I'm afraid of is true!
Well, that's right.
Huh?
There is a standard we know we are supposed to live by, and none of us are living up to it. But that's why God offers to forgive us, if we will only agree we need to be forgiven.
I could have read that in the Bible.
Would have been cheaper, too. That'll be $80.
Another message from Lifeline Productions, the comic strip of radio, at lifelinepro.com.
I love those things. Those little 1-minute things. That's so cute. And you know what? That's true. What they were saying. And, I would say it does take stopping something or the removal of a like a drug or a behavior or something like that to recover from something. But I don't, what I wanted to say about the pastor and his family, when I spent time with him and his wife and his children for 2 years straight, almost every day, is that when I watched them and in their language and how clean it was, and I mean like behavioral language, everything was just so perfect. No, there were mistakes. I mean, things happen, whatever. Things would come their way, and they would, think of how they were supposed to handle it. Just saying that, I'll just say it. There was no porn going on the TV. There was nobody fighting like that, like we did. There was no, nothing like that. It just wasn't all in chaos. There was none of that chaos. And I feel like crying a very good tear right now, because when one of them would hug me, I didn't have to give it up for them. I did not have to have sex with any of them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to have sex with someone just to get a hug, to get love in return. And it's possible. It's possible. And it's out there, and it comes from God. God is love. And God doesn't put us in debt, by the way. That kind of ties into something else I discussed with a friend today. God doesn't put us in debt when He gives to us. He's in the business of getting us out of debt, not putting us into debt to Him. So, in fact, Jesus Christ, His only begotten Son, paid our debt for us. So, all we must do is just believe on Him, that He did that for us on the cross, and be baptized. So, to believe on Him, follow Him. There's so much more to learn. And, but I have to tell you, I feel great. I actually have some, self-respect now for being abstinent. Sure, there's sometimes a little bit of anger because of the stuff that I went through. Doesn't necessarily mean you've been through it. And maybe you've been through worse. I don't know. But I do know that pain is pain. And, that emotional heartache, that heartbreak and heartache of giving ourselves, hoping for that love, and just get chewed up and spat out, And it doesn't feel good. We're not chew toys, okay? We're people. We're human beings. We're God's creation. He made us in His image. And our bodies are, how does it say? Temples. His temple. We are His temple. That gets me thinking. I've been hearing that a lot lately. And so, anyway, wow. So, hopefully this helps somebody think twice about a poor decision. And I know making a right decision, or a good decision anyway, it's hard at first. You might even get resistance, maybe even a lot of resistance at first. Put yourself in a safe situation, learn some safe situations. Maybe you have a mentor you can go to, or your church, or if not a church, then someone you trust, whom you know to have this experience, whom is respectable, and you can speak with. I don't know. I have learned some safety tips myself. If you find when I would find myself in a sticky situation, somebody having a bad attitude with me, I tell them to leave, and they say no, they're not going to leave. Well, I open the front door, and have my phone in hand. I'm just saying. But it's better to not have ourselves in those situations at all. let's be sober-minded and vigilant. It takes practice. I'm still learning, and maybe you have some ideas you could share with me. I really care about myself now, and I care about you. That's another reason I don't do anything with anyone like that. It's because I care about other people too. I don't want to be, tripping somebody else up either, or hurting them. So, just saying. All right, well, in my mind, this was going to go a lot better than this, but it is what it turned out to be. I almost said it is what it is, but it is what it turned out to be. More studying, less broadcasting, and then more broadcasting when more studying has been done. Hopefully next week, Mike Myers from the Mike Myers Show will be on air here on Little Fish Broadcasts next week, which is now formerly Fearless Christian Radio. Also, these shows will soon, you can hear them on muckradio.com. And fantastic. It's Mike Myers, his station, he's the manager of it. So I need to get more details. Sorry, Mike. I've had a lot to do. That's why I'm totally getting rid of so much stuff. I got rid of a lot of stuff. People are like, "Are you insane?" I'm like, "Yes, that's why I'm getting rid of it all, so I won't be anymore." Yeah, just a lot of stuff, a lot of distractions, getting tired of it, and I'm just not a competitive person, never was. Even in dodgeball, I played for the fun of it, as a kid. I wasn't like those other kids, some of the other kids anyway, who, actually kept score. But, anyway. All right, well, I guess this is it for now. Love you all. And until next time, enjoy your blessings. Peace. Good night.